And welcome back. Well, schools are closed, sports are sidelined, spring break is canceled. Even the happiest place on earth is shut down, Disneyland. So with so many plans diverted, there's a lot of disappointment to go around. And joining us now is someone who knows how to bring out the best in everyone. It's Beth Ridley. She's a leadership expert and founder of the Brimful Life. She's here with some great words of advice. So listen up. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, I love the fact that we're talking about this today because I think disappointment is, we're all feeling that in some aspect. Obviously, we're not talking about the most serious stuff here that is life-threatening. We're talking about the lighter stuff and the things, you know, that are still very disappointing to us and meaningful that we're not getting to take part in.
Yeah, totally. I mean, to be fair, I think we're feeling a whole lot of emotions from fear and frustration and anger, but disappointment is a big one.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that feeling of sadness that just sets in that gap between what our expectations were and the reality of the situation. So lots of disappointment to go around.
Well, I love that you say expectations. That's something that, you know, I've spent the last year or so of my life trying to let go of, is outcomes and expectations. But, you know, for people, how do we think of differently of disappointment? Because that's what you're saying, is we have to change our thoughts.
We do. So disappointment, like other negative emotions, while unpleasant, they really do serve a purpose. So we shouldn't always feel bad for feeling bad. So if you think about it, like fear helps to keep us safe.
Yeah.
Self-doubt makes sure that we're not like overly confident. Sadness connects us with the people that we love, and disappointment also tells us about our experiences and what we can learn from experiences to carry forward, you know, in the future.
That's good. So kind of break it out even further then. What can we learn specifically then more from disappointment?
Yep, so disappointment, if we listen to what disappointment is telling us, and it's hard to do when we're in the moment of disappointment, but it is a reflection on our values and beliefs around what we think we need in our life to make us happy and to bring a sense of joy and fulfillment. And a lot of times if we reflect on that, we can get a sense of, are those beliefs too fixed? Are they even realistic? Are they sustainable and even healthy, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if someone disappoints you, are your expectations that someone else can make you happy unrealistic?
Right, where that happiness should come from within,
That's
right?
correct, yeah. On the other side though, let's say you applied for a job, you didn't get it. Maybe that disappointment is an indication of the goals that you set for yourself, you're really excited about, and you're on the right trajectory in terms of where you want to go with your career. But we have to listen to what those negative feelings are telling us.
I think that's so smart, because I love another thing you say, you know, about material possessions. If you think that's the stuff that'll make you happy, that's not what's making us happy. And even right now, when there's just some of the smallest, the lighter things like we're talking about being canceled, maybe an event that you were going to, or a family gathering that you were so looking forward to, what we're realizing is that those material possessions mean nothing if we can't be with people we love and do the things that we're passionate about.
Yeah, that's right. I think one thing that's coming out of this is that we are becoming more in tune to those things that really, really matter in life, and it really is time with the people that we love and staying healthy, and that's really becoming more in focus, and disappointment is a way of sort of reminding us of those things.
So do you think that disappointment then, in that vein, can validate that we're on the right path?
Yes, it can. And it can also help to course correct maybe where we're putting our emphasis on what will make us happy on things that are misplaced.
Okay. So how about embracing disappointment? Is that something that right now, I mean, because people are going to roll their eyes and be like, embrace disappointment. How do we do that? What's the point?
Well, I think embracing disappointment really is sort of the first step to moving past disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean,
acceptance.
It is acceptance, right? And I mean, you know, it's a normal feeling. And honestly, like I said, bad feelings do serve a purpose. We shouldn't always feel bad for feeling bad. And sometimes allowing yourself to really feel bad and sort of get over it is the first step. As long as you time box it and not wallow for too long, right? But you have to decide what's appropriate. Is it an hour, a day, a week? And that's the time when you can be frustrated and vent and cry and eat ice cream, watch really bad TV, knowing that eventually when that time ends, you're gonna invest in the hard work of trying to get to a better, more positive place.
Well, we were showing the 5 steps, so that's the first one. It's kind of, you know, acknowledge those feelings and whatnot. And I feel like you're kind of talking about grief here, really.
Yeah.
You know, so some of the other steps, I mean, you mentioned reflecting on the disappointment. That's your second step.
Yep.
And so as we look at that, reflect on what it's telling you. The next one, find the silver lining. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you got to work really hard at this, but every negative thing does have a positive side to it as well, if you think about it long enough. So for example, let's just say your trip to Disney was canceled. Maybe the positive thing is...
Or your spring break.
Or your spring break, right. But now you can be home and maybe redirect those resources and your time towards a family that really is in need, and that's definitely a positive thing.
How about being thankful?
Oh, yeah. Well, an attitude of gratitude, there's plenty of research that shows keeping an attitude of gratitude in mind is one of the best ways to boost your positivity. I think we forget that it is almost spring. The weather doesn't quite, you know, indicate that, but I do see like tiny little plants starting to pop up.
It's going to feel better.
Yeah, and that's an indication that after every winter, there is a sense of rejuvenation and renewal, and we will get through this, and there will be another side. So I think just whatever you can to think about the good things in life, that will definitely help to boost positivity.
I like your last step too, which is get to work, because I do feel like a lot of us have embraced a moment of relaxation because we've had to, we've been forced to, and then it's time to kind of get to work. And what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think, you know, focus your intention on whatever that is in your control. So feeling that there is a sense of control when everything else around you may be out of control is a great way to feel productive, and that also helps you to feel more positive.
I love that you do all this. People can find out more about you, your website. You work with corporations, you work with people. If you want to rewatch this, we'll have your website and everything on themorningblend.com. But I just think embracing disappointment, kind of letting go of those outcomes and going through those steps and acknowledging how we're feeling is so important. So I love what you talked about today.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Good to see
Stay
you, Beth.
well.
I know, you too. Stay healthy.